I don't know where you've been, but you're gonna respect this courtroom. My life has proven that it's not about where you come from, it's about where you're going. From a jailed youth who had my record expunged to becoming the youngest judge elected.
The Honorable Judge Greg Mathis presiding.
In just 15 years. Ma'am, let me know when you want to go to rehab. Otherwise, I think you're a crackhead.
Absolutely not.
My goal is to inspire others to overcome their obstacles. You don't need him and his little raggedy roommate.
Thank you.
All while having a little fun on Mathis Court. You look like you're ready to lie right the first word out your mouth. This is Mathis Court with Judge Mathis.
Derek Callahan is suing Megan Foster in the amount of $1,525.
All rise. Court is now in session. The Honorable Judge Greg Mathis presiding. You may now be seated.
Mr. Callahan claims the defendant placed a trampoline on the sidewalk and says his son fell through it and hurt his leg when he jumped on it.
State your name.
Derek Callahan.
Ma'am.
Megan Foster.
All right, and sir, you're suing Ms. Foster for $1,525, alleging she owes this money for a faulty trampoline that injured your son?
Correct, yes.
Start with you.
Yeah, so on October 4th, me and my son Sheldon, we were walking in the neighborhood. We live about 5 minutes from Megan, and we came upon a trampoline. We were smack dab right in the middle of the sidewalk. There was a sign on it. I'll give her credit for that. But
what was the sign? What did it
said,
say?
like, find a good home. Basically, it looked like she was getting rid of it. My son is very athletic, so he got, like, really excited. He's a little burly. He's about 91 pounds.
How old?
10 years old. So he, right away, before I could even stop him, I like to inspect things, you know, if we go to the playground or whatever. He jumped, he went wild. I was like, all right, have fun.
Was anyone out there, the owner?
She
was
was
the owner
not,
out there?
no.
He jumped onto somebody else's property without permission?
Well, it was in the middle of the sidewalk.
I understand, but if she owned it, and you're suing her, so sue the sidewalk then.
Correct.
If you're suing her, it's because it was hers, and it was her property, and it was on the sidewalk. That's why you're suing her. If it was not her property and on the sidewalk, then you wouldn't. So you would sue the city or whoever owned the sidewalk, which would be the city, I assume. But go ahead. He jumped on her property, and what happened?
Yes, so jumped on it. It looked like she was getting rid of it, but she didn't, like, properly, I guess maybe she didn't, I'm assuming she didn't want
to. You don't know. You don't know what she was doing.
Exactly.
You have zero idea.
So it looked like it was garbage. And I didn't have time to tell him.
Garbage to you.
Yeah. And then I didn't have time to tell him, basically, obviously also respect somebody else's stuff, but he was excited. He's a kid and he's athletic. So he jumped on it. After about 6 or 7 pounces on it, he went flying through it. He ripped through it. The whole thing ripped.
He damaged her property.
Well,
he damaged her property?
Well, it ripped, yes.
He damaged it. He damaged her property. Go ahead, ma'am. Let me hear from you.
So we live in a residential neighborhood, and, you know, it's customary once you're done with a piece of furniture or equipment to put it out for someone else to...
It's supposed to be on the street, isn't it? He says sidewalk, because I was going to get to that, but was it
true,
street
Your Honor.
or sidewalk?
It was on the sidewalk, Your Honor. It's about as far as I could haul
Sound like
it,
a violation to me, but go ahead.
Okay, and you know, I put a sign on it that said "Free to a good home," and it's cute. It's a child's toy, and I thought someone would pick it up right away. You know, a half hour after I put it out, someone starts banging on my door. I hear commotion, and he says to me, you know, "Did you put that trampoline out there?" I said, "Yes, I did." And you know, he indicates to his son, who looks much bigger than mine, who's 7 years old. And he says, well, he's injured himself. And the kid, you know, was hopping around on one foot. And, you know, I offered to bring them inside, have a seat, seemed like the right thing to do. But, you know, he started getting really aggressive, really angry, demanding to know my name, you know, suggesting I was really, you know, responsible for this kid's injuries. And, you know, and I said, look, I'm just trying to give someone else a toy for free. And, you know, he really shamed me for that, saying, you know, I
got
was really
hostile
negligent.
with it?
I mean,
About your son making an illegal act?
I was upset, yeah.
Were you upset with your son?
Oh, yes, I was.
What'd you do?
Well, I basically, he knows not to.
I understand. Right, correct.
Right.
And he disobeyed.
Yes.
That's why I don't know why you're suing her. You got a disobedient son who ruined her property. What did you say to him?
Well, wouldn't it be public domain though, the sidewalk?
Sir, I'm asking you. You just said you spoke with your son because you were upset with him as well. That's what we're talking about. We're not talking about whether it's public property or not. And so when you evade a question and start talking about something else, you lose all your credibility. I believe nothing you say now. Let me get back to you.
I also wanted to say that as he walked off, he was very agitated and he flicked me off, which kind of gives you a picture of how he's sort of handling the situation in general. As you can see, Your Honor, from the evidence, there's a bar over the trampoline, and it's clearly, therefore, for a younger person, a younger child who needs to balance.
Coming up on Mathis Court with Judge Mathis.
If she told you it wasn't, how did you conclude it was? You had some insight, some special information that was delivered to you?
And later,
Anybody have a picture of it?
I do have a picture of it, Your Honor.
Let's see it, please.
See, to me, if I saw this,
Oh my goodness.
I had a
I'm ready to
panic attack.
run. Don't hand that to me.
if you'll be in the Los Angeles area and want to bring your case to court, call 1-888-552-6878.
You're watching Mathis Court with Judge Mathis. This is Mathis Court with Judge Mathis.
Mathis Court is back with the case of Derek Callahan, who is suing Megan Foster for attractive nuisance.
And that does look way too small for a 10-year-old.
Yeah, so one would say, someone might use their better judgment, and, there was a parent watching this child, and I, just for putting something out on the street doesn't make you responsible for what happens to it. And,
Depends. If it's an attractive nuisance, which this might be, an attractive nuisance is something that a person should assume is attractive to another passerby, stranger, or criminal. And if you leave it there, you should, and with a reasonable person should assume that someone's going to use it or steal it. You created an attractive nuisance. So go ahead and make your private property point.
Correct. It's just, when you're walking with a child and a child sees that in the middle of the sidewalk, I don't know how, I'm not comparing my child to other children, and I did tell him, you have to respect me. And
Yeah,
not,
most children don't disobey. Just yours in this case.
yeah,
Most
so,
children don't.
yeah, so
They
he-
obey their parents, most people.
correct. And that guy,
Your child didn't obey you, though.
he got me mad. So he got me, and I said, never do that. I'm good. I'm not like,
And you just admitted that you have a son that doesn't listen to you. And so I'm not clear why you think you can sue someone about what a disobedient child has done. How did you discipline your child after that? None?
well, I spoke to him and I said, I have to, because he knows when we go to the park and everything, and he was really happy. He just had we got ice cream, and he's into sports and everything, so we were he was like on fire. He was pumped up. So it was, and it was like the perfect storm. That was in front of him, but I spoke to him after. I said, look, you can't be doing that, dude. You gotta tell me when, you can't just take off on me like that, because God forbid if you went in the street or something, can't do stuff like that. So I said it harshly too, but not too harsh.
What were the injuries that you want $1,500 for? You have the evidence, Amir? You have the evidence of the
Yes,
injuries
I do.
that you want $1,500 for? You have anything you want to say in the meantime?
No, I just want to say I'm also a parent, and
Anything else?
I empathize with seeing your kid in duress.
You even invited them in.
What's that?
You even invited
Thank
them
you.
into
I
your
invited
home.
them in. I tried to do my best, but at the same time, we are responsible for our children.
And he was hostile.
That is true, Your Honor.
It's
So
not.
you couldn't be much help even though you invited them in. But with a hostile person, what are you going to do?
Your Honor, can I say something? please?
Yes.
That's not how it went. I was rude. I was nasty because of the moment. I admit that, and I apologize for that. But she was denying putting that out there and everything. She was denying the whole thing. She wasn't taking any type of responsibility.
Oh,
So
she said it wasn't hers?
that's what she said to me, yeah.
ma'am?
No, I said, yes, I put it out, but it is not my responsibility that your son got injured.
She was denying the whole thing.
She denied owning it,
Correct, yes.
denied
No,
putting it out.
She denied everything.
No, I didn't. It's not.
So what convinced you that it was her? If she denied it?
Well, she basically, it was in front of her house, and she basically.
Yeah, a lot of things are in front of people's house on public property. Why did you assume? If she told you it wasn't, how did you conclude it was? You had some insight, some special information that was delivered to you about anything in front of this woman's house is hers?
She did admit it eventually in the conversation.
I said it's mine, but I said I am not
I
responsible
had to basically
for
get it out of her, basically.
But you did.
And then I have some text messages, too.
So,
Saying what? Hold on. What is the text message going to indicate, sir?
This is after I got the bill, so it's just basically, it's.
No, we're talking about her denial. You say she denied she knew who owned it. That's what you say she said. And so my point is, if she denied it, why didn't you believe her? Where did you get anything different that you could rely on? What other information? Because if I can see the picture again, it's also, let's see the picture again, if we can, folks. What is that next to the cardboard? What property is that? You see the cardboard?
that is my driveway.
That's your driveway?
That's my driveway.
Okay, so we would assume it's your property.
Yeah.
All right.
I-
and when he asked, so he says you lied. He's saying that with his own, you looked at it with your own eyes in front of your house and said, no, not mine. I don't know who owns it. It just happens to be on my property.
No, that's not something I said. I think
know,
he was.
that's what I got. That's what he said.
I understand.
She was basically beating around the bush and then not taking.
You said deny. Now you're saying beat around the bush. You said deny. You sat here and
She
kept saying
originally
she
did
denied. Have a
deny
good day. Your claim is dismissed. You assume the risk. You have a disobedient child who doesn't listen to you and gets in trouble. And then you want to sue somebody else over a disobedient child who damages somebody else's property? Go raise your son right. Case dismissed.
All rise.
Judge Mathis has ruled in favor of the defendant. The plaintiff's claim has been dismissed.
I'm very satisfied with the judge's decision, and I think, we need to take responsibility for ourselves in this world.
Justice wasn't served.
Coming up,
And someone has to own this pet. And I know for a fact that Mr. Chan owns multiple of these same exact snakes.
Do you, sir?
Your Honor, I do, sir.
You're watching Mathis Court with Judge Mathis. This is Mathis Court with Judge Mathis.
Lisa Morris is suing Calvin Chan in the amount of $4,305. Ms. Morris claims she was terrified after finding her neighbor's python curled up in her toilet and says she had to get a hotel room and have her pipes flushed out.
State your name,
Lisa Morris, Your Honor.
sir.
Calvin Chan, sir.
All right, and you are suing the defendant for $4,305, alleging he owes you this money because his snake escaped and caused damages, I guess, to your property.
Yes, Your Honor.
Start with you.
6:45 in the morning, I went up, get ready for work, I get dressed, I go to our bathroom, and I go to open the toilet and see what I thought was some debris. I go to flush it, but it starts to move. So I take a closer look, and a head decides to poke out of the bowl, stare directly into my soul, and I ran out screaming. I thought I was going to pass out because this was just a snake curled up
A
in
little
the toilet
garden
bowl.
snake?
No, not a garden snake, Your Honor.
Anybody have a picture of it?
I do have a picture of it, Your
Let's
Honor.
see it, please.
See, to me, if I saw this,
Oh, my goodness.
I had a
I'm
panic
ready to
attack.
run. Don't hand that to me. Just a look. This is a python or something, right?
Exactly. It's, from what I was told, it was a ball python, something that's not native to Florida, something that's very commonly owned by beginner
Are they
pet
poisonous?
owners.
Are pythons? They just choke you to death, right?
They,
They're
I think
not
they can
poisonous, sir.
They're-
No.
So
according
if
to
you
him.
got in the hole of your leg,
Thank you, or my arm, or something
could have
worse.
squoze until...
Exactly.
Yeah.
So I called the building management, I've called animal security and animal control to come and fix this problem. And I remember them saying ball pythons are very common, but they're not very native to Florida, so that has to be shipped in, and someone has to own this pet. And I know for a fact that Mr. Chan owns multiple of these same exact snakes.
Do you, sir?
Your Honor, I do, sir.
How did you get them?
Well, like I said, I've been a reptile enthusiast
You
for
ordered
over a
them, I guess?
decade. I bought them at a reptile convention. I keep them in a very well taken care of enclosure that is designed with a lock mechanism on it.
Coming up,
So who should pay for the damages?
Well, the question here is not whether or not she was
suing you for the
scared.
damages, sir.
Well,
Who should pay for them if not you?
You're watching Mathis Court with Judge Mathis. This is Mathis Court with Judge Mathis.
Mathis Court is back with the case of Lisa Morris suing Calvin Chan for negligence.
Go ahead, ma'am. And how does it amount to a $4,000 lawsuit?
Absolutely, Your Honor. Well, due to that incident, I didn't feel safe in that place anymore, so I went and stayed at a hotel for 3 days. I do have the bill for that. That came out to $700, if you'd like to take a look.
Let's see it, please. You're such a pleasant woman. Seems like your relatives would let you spend the night.
And these are the other bills, along with the HOA rules.
You would think so.
comparing
That
these
would-
on
that would-
animals.
You're such a pleasant
Seem
woman.
to be
Seems
a
like your
personal
relatives would
choice.
let you spend the night. You must not be as nice as you put on to be today.
I would. Unfortunately, they are all still local to California.
What do you say, sir?
Well, Your Honor, it is true that our plumbing shares the same stack. It shares the same stack with a bunch of tenants in the condominium, and it is linked to the city's municipal sewage system, which theoretically any animal can get inside and travel for a long distance.
So who should pay for the damages?
Well, the question here is not whether or not she was
She's suing you
scared.
for the damages, sir.
Well,
Who should pay for them if not you?
But the question is, are they my snakes? They're not my snakes.
How will Judge Mathis rule? Find out when Mathis Court returns.
You're watching Mathis Court with Judge Mathis. This is Mathis Court with Judge Mathis.
Others in the building have snakes?
Others in the building, to my knowledge, do not. But
Okay.
all of my snakes are still in their
So now
enclosures.
me and you are stupid. All right, I'm not going to listen to you insult my intelligence
Not-
anymore, sir.
No.
You just said no one else in there has exotic snakes, pythons. You raise pythons. You have several. And by the way, the association guidelines say strict liability. Lawyer, you know what that means, don't you? You quoting the law. What strict liability mean?
That there's in the possibility that that can happen, that I would be accountable for it.
Meaning,
However,
the fact that it happened, you're automatically responsible. There is no defense. No defense, no legal defense exists when something is categorized as strict liability. There's no defense. The fact that it occurred, you're automatically guilty. That's what this is. Judgment for the plaintiff. Have a good day.
Thank you, Your Honor.
All rise.
Judge Mathis has ruled in favor of the plaintiff. The defendant owes $4,305.
I don't think that this was fair. But anyways, whatever.
I'm just happy that the judge saw reason, and maybe you'll learn to keep better locks on your cages.
This has been a production of Allen Media Group.